Hello everyone, and welcome back to Talk to Include. So hi, I have my co-host here, Miss Des, and our guest, Miss Kiana. Okay, so the podcast where we talk about stories, experiences, and conversations that inspire. Miss Des.
Yes, and let's have a quick recap lang regarding with what we talked for the episode 1, since the importance of understanding, diversity, acceptance, and creating safe space for everyone regardless of their background and identity, also the ability. We also learn how to act the simple act of kindness, respect, and little things with someone, with our previous guest. And sometimes kasi people just want to hear and be accepted. Di ba, Miss Kat?
Yes. So, um, for this, for our episode 2, we're so excited right now because we have a very inspiring guest with us, and she's a graduate of special needs education, a passionate advocate for inclusion, and a proud transgender woman from Carmona. So she's also part of Hans Inclusion PH, where she serves as a volunteer public relations officer, helping promote awareness, representation, and safe spaces for the community. So, everyone, please welcome Miss
Miss Kiana
Lopez.
Lopez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. And I'm really happy and excited to share my story and experiences with all of you today.
So, hello, Miss Kiana. So, what's your headspace today before this online podcast po?
Mm. Honestly, I'm feeling excited and grateful to be here today. And syempre, may konting kaba because this is also my first experience doing an online podcast. And I'll be sharing my personal experiences and part of my journey. But more than that, I'm very happy and hopeful that this conversation can inspire people or help them feel seen and understood in some way.
So, for our listeners na first time ka makalala, can you tell us more about yourself and your journey?
Sure.
Because you're in the current role of being a public relations officer in Hans Inclusion PH.
Sure. I'm Kiana Lopez, a graduate of special needs education, and I've always been passionate about helping people and creating safe spaces where everyone feels accepted and valued. And aside from my advocacy work, active rin ako sa community work through Hands in Inclusion Philippines. My journey wasn't always easy, especially as a transgender woman navigating different spaces, but those expectations saved me into someone more resilient and compassionate. And through everything I experienced, mas lalo kong na-realized how important inclusion, representation, and empathy are. And that's why I continue using my voice and experiences to inspire and help others in my own little way.
And inspiring naman po. Since you mentioned special needs education graduate, right, Miss Kiana?
Yes.
So, what made you choose that course or what inspired you to take that program po? Since being an educator is one of the novelist profession po.
Alam niyo, to be honest, special needs education wasn't really my first choice. Originally, I wanted to take accountancy, but then naubusan ako ng slot, so I had to choose a different course first. And I was planning to shift next semester after the first semester and special needs. But habang tumatagal, I slowly realized how fulfilling special needs education was for me. So the more I learned and experienced, the more I appreciated the course and the people behind it. So it opened my eyes to the importance of inclusion, patience, and understanding. And then eventually I realized na maybe I was placed there for a reason. So instead of shifting to accountancy, I decided to continue it wholeheartedly.
So that was really amazing. And as someone active in advocacy work po, what does inclusion means to you personally?
Aside from acceptance, inclusion for me is making people feel seen, heard, and genuinely valued without needing to change who they are. Hindi lang siya about giving people a seat at the table, but making sure that their voices matters. Personally, I believe that inclusion starts in small everyday actions, like how we treat people, how we listen, and how we create safe spaces for everyone, regardless of their gender, grace, ability, or background.
Thank you for that very inspiring answer. So, for my next question, as someone active in advocacy work and being a public relations PR officer, so how does your role place a good impact in using social media to and taking a step, for a change, especially in the society of PWD? And since we have like ongoing issues related to PWD concerns.
So, my role involves community engagement, advocacy work, and helping organize activities that encourage people to feel involved and valued. So, what I love most about it is seeing how even the simple acts of support can make a big difference in someone's confidence and life.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful, inspiring answer. Miss Des?
Regarding about the position that you have, so what are one of the memorable experience you had while doing community work? Since you're related with the public relation and more on media,
Mhm.
so how was uh, the thing that you do, and what are the memorable experience that you had, especially engaging with different people?
One memorable experience I've had while doing community work. For me, it was meeting individuals who initially felt shy or excluded, and then slowly seeing them become more confident and expressive during activities. So seeing someone smile, participate, and feel accepted because of the environment we created is something very fulfilling. So those moments remind me of why advocacy work matters.
Oh, eto lang po, naisip ko lang siya biglaan. So, ano po yung mga other challenges niyo while entering with advocacy work, also juggling studies, and also being a promoter of a transgender community? What are the challenges that you face? Kasi
What?
when we
Mhm.
talk po kasi is ang pagiging involved when we talk about inclusion. So,
Mhm.
what are the challenges that you face that you could be included para maramdaman din ng ibang tao na ako nakapasok dito, so they can be also included.
So there were moments when I doubted myself because of pressure, judgment, and personal struggles. But I overcame those challenges by focusing on my goals and, of course, surrounding myself with supportive people and reminding myself why I started. And I also learned to embrace who I am and not let negativity define my worth.
Well, another follow-up question rin po, paano niyo po nalaman ang Hands in Inclusion PH, or paano po kayo nakasali? Na parang na-envision niyo po na, I want to be part of this kind of advocacy.
So I start joining organizations it was 2025 of last year. I joined the Hands in Inclusion Philippines. And even before that, I'm already doing volunteer works. I started doing volunteer works in 2019. And then I realized in 2025, since I have a lot of time, I'm unemployed, and I decided to find an organization and submit a resume so I can lend my time and, help other people and volunteer.
Thank you so much for that wonderful answer, Miss Kiana. So, Miss Kat,
So for yeah, for other questions, for so this is not part of like related to work or anything, but we would like to know you better, like personally you, the Miss Kiana. So how would your friends describe you in 3 words? Example, if someone will get to ask you, how will they describe you as their friend or something?
To be honest, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I do love adventure. So one
mm,
thing that they can describe me is that I'm adventurous, and I'm empathetic, and also I'm very resilient.
That's good.
wow, I really love that. And usually, napaka-amazing when you hear people who are really adventurous because imagine engaging in this kind of community and giving your all is already an adventure because you're already inspiring different people across the nation. Even me, when I was listening to your answers, I was really amazed na, oh my God, I was lucky that I had a chance to be a volunteer also together with you guys. So here's another question, Miss Kiana. What do you usually do to recharge or relax? Especially pag volunteer, may
Mhm.
time is na-drain tayo, may time is
Totoo.
na low battery yung katawan natin. So, what are the things that you usually do to recharge?
So I usually recharge by spending time with my dogs. So I have 2 dogs, and I'm living by myself, and also doing outdoor activities like free diving, hiking, and also paragliding. And nature really helps me clear my mind and reconnect with myself. Sometimes simple quiet moments and resting are, already enough for me to reset.
So, I really love, parang na-excite ako bigla when I hear that you are into free driving, hiking, because I'm also into hiking, especially experiencing different kinds of environment. And actually, to,
Yes.
take away ko lang din siya when you were sharing that you love to, the inclusion thing. One of this past month is since na unemployed din ako, so I joined the Hands in Inclusion Philippines to be a
Mm-hmm.
volunteer para naman din magamit yung skills ko.
Oh,
I realized that
yes.
there are a lot of people who didn't feel belong. Kasi in this society nowadays are harsh. And being in a community who accept for being you is already a big win. Hindi
Yes.
ka manalo in terms of money, but the feeling of being, someone already heard me, someone already made me feel love is really an important thing that can make the life more lighter. Even if you are in the darkest days of your life, you can feel that you are safe. And thank you so much, Miss Kiana, for that wonderful sharing of yours. Miss Kat?
Okay. So, for one last question, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice. So, what would it be? So, if you were looking in the mirror right now and then you see your, let's say, your 7-year-old self, what would you say, I'm proud of her, I'm proud of you, or what is that one piece of advice now you would like to give that younger self, knowing that you're in your present now and then you're just like talking to your old self, the old you back then when you were like 7 years old.
Yes. So if I could give my younger self one piece of advice, I would tell my younger self not to be too hard on herself and stop seeking validation from people who don't truly understand her. And I'd remind her that growth takes time, takes a lot of process, and then one day she'll become someone stronger, more confident, and of course, proud of who she is.
Oh, that's great. So that's very inspiring.
I have, although yun na yung last question, Miss Kat, but I have some questions that I was really inspired na to know you more, Miss
Mhm.
Kiana. So, regarding with the importance or how important is the representation for the LGBTQIA community and person with disability, how important representation is to be felt love or being felt that you are included in this society.
Yes, so representation and inclusivity are very important because education should be a safe space for everyone. Kapag nakakakita ng students na accepted and respected sila, mas nagiging confident silang matuto and mag-express ng sarili nila. So representation also helps break stereotypes and teaches people to become more open-minded and compassionate.
Was there a scenario of you na parang may nakita kang sabihin natin, a person with disability and he or she was struggling with something na parang binubuli siya to the community. How do you react with it and what would the things you would do for that person?
First, if I see someone getting bullied, I have to speak up because there are people who don't have the courage to speak up for themselves. So that's why I am doing this volunteer work because I want to be that person who speak up for those people who cannot defend themselves.
Amazing. Napakaganda. Ang dami kong takeaway sa kwentuhang ito, especially that I just realized that the course that you take was not your dream course, but it gave you the purpose. The
Mm-hmm.
purpose that let people feel that they are included, especially that we're living in this generation in which, aminin man natin na sa hindi, not everyone will understand or being who we are or what we are doing in this community,
Yes.
not unless they are already in the situation or the scenario. And aside from that, your journey of being you was really amazing how you dedicate yourself, your time, and kung ibang tao yun, for sure, sasabihin, bakit pa ako mag-aaksaya ng oras? Parang may mga
Right.
ganong scenario and I really love how you openly accepted that kind of commitment, the fire in you. I hope that that fire will never lose its light and be a sunshine of hope to everyone who's listening right now, especially sa mga young ones na nakikinig kasi alam ko and alam natin that we in this generation, we are the generation in which they need a role model and you as a person was already a role model and I really appreciate that kind of heart of yours. So Miss Kiana, what message would you like to share to young people who may still be struggling with self-acceptance or self-confidence?
So, to young people who are still struggling with self acceptance, I just want you to know that you don't have to figure everything out immediately. Growth takes time. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, but never let those moments define your worth. And surround yourself with people who genuinely support you, and always remember that your voice, your identity, and your story matter.
I really have a lot of, takeaways in this kind of like communication, because aside that we get to be able to like to know you, it's like the words is really built into your experience in in advocacy and community. So, and that really speaks of who you are as well. That in this kind of, you know what, in this kind of community we have, um especially uh this kind of world that we have, it's just we have so much burdens, and those burdens comes with, family, with
Fresh.
even with friends, your workplace, your career, even you could pressure your own self,
Yes.
even though no one is pressuring you. So that kind of feeling ba na nakakapagod ang mundo, that the world is so tiring, that I get to be able to realize, Lord, why is it that every day of our life we live in survival, everything we pay everything. It's pwede naman na basic necessities we don't get to pay it, 'di ba? But I
Right.
get to be able to be reminded with the word of the Lord. So I just want to like insert even the word of God na even though take my burden because my yoke is light. So if you want to just surrender, before the Lord, like whatever you want to give it to Him. Kasi sometimes we can't take it all. As a human being, we can't take it all. And it's really, you have all those burdens. You have all those bags spiritually. And we may not see those bags na we carry each day. But sometimes it makes your soul na parang nabibigatan ka na. So you really have to at least lift up those things that make you, you really feel pressure in anything, and that the Lord will get to be able to carry you like that. So I just want to have like the word of God at least to be in this kind of communication with this, as we're so very very inspired of how you really carry yourself well, and how the way you speak.
I would I would also agree with that one, especially kung I've been last month kasi share ko lang din. Last month I went to Bohol, so I seen a lot of PWD people na
Mm.
I was really shocked nung nalaman kong they were just given parang 500 pesos lang ata for a cash assistance, and to think of it's not a suitable for living. And I was suggesting also the municipality dahil bida-bida din akong tao naman din minsan. So, I spoke up na why not give them the opportunity to have a proper job instead of yung parang nakarely lang for monthly 500. So, parang
Right.
it's really a heartbreaking na parang yun
Mm.
nare-receive nila. And to think of those people with disability was talented. Some of them are painters,
Yes.
some of them are bakers, some of them are even college graduates na due to the harsh reality of the society, they weren't able to showcase the skills, the talent that they have within themselves. Then when they had the caravan, so I was including myself that they should be prioritized to have a
Right.
job.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to use my voice kasi parang sobrang sakit sa puso ko na nakita kong may mga kasi may mural contest, then I was asking them na may isa parang blind siya, then I was really amazed on how he was able to create a wonderful mural na ako mismo kompleto yung senses ko, hirap na hirap ako mag-drawing ng simpleng tao, but him, when he was asked na mag-paint lang a certain, then naghahanap kasi sila ng mural painter doon, then nagpe-paint din siya sa gilid. So I refer him na, why not try kuya? Kasi hindi ko naman kilala. So sabi ko, why not try kuya to showcase then. Yun lang, parang it's really amazing if you will just do simple act of kindness for them to have a proper and suitable work related to the skills and talents that they have. And the one that you spoke a while ago, Miss Kiana, is really amazing na dapat talaga mabigyan ng equivalent na job ang mga taong with persons in need. Kasi hindi naman sila hindi naman sila excluded sa mundo. They also have
Right.
different bearings, they have different baggages, they are only trying to make a living kung iisipin. So thank you so much for that insight.
Thank you, Miss Diana, for sharing your story, wisdom, and experiences today.
And ayun, gusto ko lang i-add na just because people think that they're different doesn't mean that they're incapable of doing things.
Yes, that's great. So to our listeners, thank you for tuning into episode 2 of Talk to Include. So we hope today's conversation, especially with Miss Kiana, reminded everyone about the importance of inclusion, empathy, and representation. And that like kind of genuine work ba na we've been into this like community work for like genuine yung concern for towards other people as well. So I think that's what makes it more impactful because yung pagtulong mo, it's really out from the heart and you really want to help people, not because of what other people might think of you or it's because just to earn work experience or but at the same time you have built na you've been doing good things. That is also a good part of being of how good you really are.
And it's really amazing to have this kind of discussions kasi aminin man natin sa hindi alam ng kadalasang tao kung ano ba ang platform natin, kung bakit nga ba tayo nandito, and why we are fighting for inclusion. And listening and having this wonderful episode 2 together with Miss Kiana, we learn a lot of things. Hindi man isa, hindi man dalawa. Napakarami kong intake na parang babaunin ko siya habang magtuturo or nagtuturo ako sa mga bata na nagiging part siya na, you know what, class, I talk with someone who's really inspiring and in that way, you are already lighting up for those people who doesn't have any voice and you were a platform, you're already a bridge for them to be in the light path.
Mhm. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm really grateful to be part of this conversation and to share my experiences with everyone today. And I hope that our discussion encourages more people to practice kindness, inclusion, and of course, understanding.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate this time. So for our listeners, we have on our screen, naka-flash ba on our screen is the QR code for those generous givers that we have. So don't also forget to like, subscribe and share our YouTube channel in which we will be talking with different people, different episodes at the same time. We will be engaging with you. Malay nyo, next time makikita nyo na kami live na kausap ang mga ini-interview. So, thank you so much. Kung may mga generous na tao dyan, God really loves generous giver. Even if a simple act of volunteerism is already a generous way. So, let's keep going.
Don't forget to follow and share Talk to podcast for a more inspiring conversation. So, thank you again, Ms. Kiana,
Thank you so much.
For your words of wisdom, and see you on our next episode on Inclusion PH. Thank you. Yes.
Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. We also have different platforms. Miss Kat, we have the Instagram. We have also TikTok.
YT.
We have also Twitter. We have also in YT. And we also have in Threads. At the same time, you can follow those following social media platforms. So you can be updated with our latest activity, with the latest happenings when it comes to inclusivity, when it comes to those people with disability. whatever the topic it is, Hands in Inclusion Philippines is ready to give some insights, and at the same time, we can be able to reach out to those persons in need. So, Miss Kat, what are your intakes for Miss Kiana's wonderful sharing for today? Before we end this,
Yeah, I think I've already mentioned earlier, So for it's really about, not just about the advocacy work, but it's about who you are, why you're doing it, right? So it's not just about what you do, because you could do something, but iba yung motivations mo, iba yung intentions mo. So you do it because you love it. You do it because you have passion for it. You do it because you have heart for it. So I think that would be all for me.
actually ako, napakarami kong intakes na parang hindi lang siya masabi. So, I'll just give 3 points. This is how inclusion works, na how you make a certain people, a person, change its life. Kasi you learn how to let them in. By letting them in, you made them feel valued. You made them feel heard. You made them feel seen. And inclusion nowadays is really rare. Kaya nga yung word na inclusion is nauna ang in, because we let them inside.
Yeah.
Hindi siya, kasi kapag X is going outside na siya, so exit. And second is acceptance. How we accept is the part on how we include them. Pero not all the time, people are being misinterpreted this. Pag accepted ka na, included ka na. No. May ibang tao that they let a person feel that you are accepted, but the question is, are you included? So, if you accept a person, you let that person also include to the circle in which you are moving with. For example, it doesn't mean that you are a person with disability, you are not allowed to mingle with other people. No. You are accepted as a person with disability or in need, or even the queer community, and you are included. Kung anong ginagawa namin, pwede mong gawin. You can do it also. Regardless of what thing it is. No limitation, no limitations at all. You can do your own free will. So, third point and last point ko is love. Because you cannot let people feel accepted nor included if you don't feel the love. The love that you give from other people made them feel, okay, I'm already accepted. I don't have to question myself. I don't have to question my work. I don't have to question who am I. I don't need to question my capabilities as a person. But rather, they accepted me. They loved me. They included me for being who I am. And those sharing of yours made me inspired to do and be more involved and engaged in such an amazing community wherein we are able to help regardless of the gender that they have, regardless to the capabilities that they have. So thank you so much, Miss Kiana, for your wonderful sharing for today. Thank you so much. Miss Kat, do you have any additions?
Time, even though we take this communication to focus on the topic and our guest as well. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, and also don't forget to follow the social media that will be, I think, flashed on the screen after the recording, and not the live recording as well, because I appreciate Hands Inclusion so much. Back then I was searching Hands Inclusion, and they've been into different advocacy, right? So may mga their websites, their volunteer work, and it really interests me so much. Not just sa PWD aspect, but even in different more of it's more of community service, right? That's what made me also get to be able to interest because here in Manila we have a lot of opportunities back then, because being in Davao, because I just recently moved to Manila after years in Davao, I think there are doesn't much happening on volunteer kind of work. So I just found out that it's more of like Manila, maraming opportunities sa mga volunteer, like sa mga community services. So that's also a good part that I was able to search about hands inclusion, yung mga advocacy, yung mga work nila, and yung mga involvement talaga sa community. So that's really gave me an inspiration, and as well as for Miss Kiana on how the way she experiences her experiences really made me think as well na great learnings from your words as well earlier. So thank you. We do not want to really take too much of your time. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Kiana, again from the Hands Inclusion Philippines, also together with us with Miss Kathy. Thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your insight with our episode 2. So for those people who are watching, so the QR code will be flashed on the screen. So you can scan the QR code for those generous givers, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With our social media, it's either on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Hands Inclusion Philippines in Facebook. We have also Threads, if I'm not mistaken. The Twitter, so that you can have real-time updates with our community, what's happening, and what are the other platforms of Hands in Inclusion Philippines. So for those generous givers, do not forget to scan the QR code being flashed on screen. So thank you so much, and see you here in Talk to Include, and God bless.